How's it going, everybody? We'd like to take a second to thank Don't Die Clothing for sponsoring this portion of today's episode. Don't Die Clothing is a mental health awareness clothing brand that was created to continue the important conversation of mental health and suicide prevention through streetwear. Style for a change, fashion for a cause. The clothing brand first started in 2018 and was created by Ashima Jiri. She created this because of her own experiences with mental health and suicidal thoughts and wanted to see more South Asian representation in both the fashion and mental health space. Fashion can't solve your problems, but it can make you feel included and let you know that you're not alone in this. Don't Die Clothing is about inclusivity and passion for spreading important awareness. 20% of the profits are donated to San Francisco suicide prevention. Their next drop is called Face Your Venom, which is all about embracing your dark side to get to the brighter side of your mental health journey. It drops on April 27th. Stay tuned and don't die. Go check them out right now at don'tdieclothing.store, or you can follow them on Instagram at __ Don't Die Clothing. Thank you so much again to Don't Die Clothing for sponsoring this portion of today's episode.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Where Did All My Friends Go? A podcast about life in the music industry. As always, I'm your host, Patrick Tarnowski, and as always is my co-host, Matt Reed. Matt, what's up? I see you got Lawrence's shirt on.
I do have Lawrence's shirt on.
Lawrence is our artist. He does all of the art for Unsigned Pop Punk, and he just decided he made one of his own designs and popped it on a shirt.
It only took like 6 weeks to get here.
Well, that's not that bad. It's from the UK, right?
So we're okay. It was only 6 weeks or something. I don't remember. But yeah,
only 6 weeks. Well, today we have Jason St. Angelo from New York punk band Tired Radio on the show. Did I say your last name right, Angelo?
That's right. It's St. Angelo, but a lot of people say Stangelo, so I'm definitely happy with how you got it.
Well, yeah, I mean, St. Angelo. I definitely put the saint in there, but I know how to say saint. You know, what the Angelo part is what I was questioning.
Both correct on both fronts.
Nice.
That's such a badass name, by the way.
Thank you, man. Yeah. We're a bunch of Italians over here in Queens, so it's pretty true to the area.
Please tell me you have like a grandma or a grandpa with a really thick Italian accent.
Dude, my father-in-law is from Sicily, and then my great-grandfather is from Italy. I'll tell you this: my father's full name is Vito Di Lorenzo Romagnolo. So I mean, it's ridiculous. Yeah, it's absolutely ridiculous. But I will say one kind of cool thing is, have you guys seen the movie Goodfellas?
Well, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So that was in my neighborhood, and my grandmother is still best friends with Tommy's sister. So they go to Applebee's every first Sunday of the month, which is pretty fun.
Nice.
I was gonna say, like, yeah, my grandma's, believe it or not, actually still really good friends with Joe Pesci. So
still really good friends with Joe Pesci. You should see her hold a handgun. I mean, she's pretty scary.
Was Joe Pesci in Goodfellas? I know he was in Casino.
He was in Goodfellas. He played the main guy, who was Tommy DeSimone, who apparently was like 6'4", funny enough, like 270, you know. So Joe Pesci, I guess, really fit the mold somehow.
Well, I mean, he's great. I love Joe Pesci.
Oh yeah, man. Yeah, you can't go wrong with all of those guys, you know, Scorsese, all of them.
Joe, I think I'd have to say one of my favorite Joe Pesci is his character in the Lethal Weapon movies. It's like, okay.
So the same character in every movie.
I mean, kind of, except for like Lethal Weapon, he's like weaker, you know, like he's
That's
not
funny.
like.
I've never.
Have you seen those?
I haven't. No, I'm
Oh.
gonna have to check them out now. Yeah.
Yeah, he's just kind of like just the goofball, like just wants to be friends really bad with them. You know, he's like, come on, guys, come on, hang out with me, come on, you know, and like so he doesn't play like, you know, like he's not gonna put a hit on you in that movie.
That's hilarious. I would like to see that because it's like when do you see him out of that context? You know, it's pretty ridiculous.
Absolutely. I mean, because there's not a whole lot of like like comedies, I guess, with Joe Pesci. I mean, obviously like Home Alone and
Yeah, I think of
Home
like
Alone 2.
I think the closest you can get was like Jim Brewer's impression on SNL. He used to do that sketch, the Joe Pesci show, where he had like a late night talk show.
Okay. I think I remember that. Jim Brewer. Early Jim Brewer. Not now
Early
Jim
Jim
Brewer.
Brewer, not now Jim Brewer.
Not now Jim Brewer.
Wow, COVID really knocked that guy off the deep end, huh? Like,
Yeah, the dude like he's come quite the ways since Half Baked.
oh yes, yes, great cult movie, by the way.
It's just you know, completely different character than Jim Brewer now.
Yeah, I guess that's what happens, man. People get old and weird sometimes.
It's true. It's true. Speaking of old and weird, Tired Radio, right?
Yeah, great. Yeah, great segue. I love it. Yeah, dude, absolutely.
You guys just released your latest EP, Lousy Thanks, featuring the singles Lousy Thanks, Old Keys, and Dead and Gone, the sequel. How has the response for the record been so far?
Oh, dude, it's been amazing. It's been kind of unreal because the first release, the debut, was received so well. Like, we really didn't expect it. So when we were writing for the new EP, specifically Tony, who's our singer and main songwriter, we were really nervous. You know, how are people going to kind of respond to this? Because it was really our first release as a full band. The first record was Tony and our drummer Kevin, and now this was the first time where we had kind of all four elements of this band, and I think it's a real good natural progression of where Tired Radio was, and especially where Tired Radio is going. So I think it's perfect to kind of bridge that gap, and the fact that people are into it is amazing. Especially the track, which is my personal favorite, Down in Flames. A lot of people have really related to that one. So that's just a long way to say that the feedback's been great, man. Yeah.
Nice.
It's a killer record. Really enjoying it.
Thanks, man.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Yeah. We've been sitting on these songs for like a year and a half. We recorded them over a year ago. So we've been so anxious for the world to hear them.
Right.
So it's great to finally have it out. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
The band has described itself as bummer punk. How would you explain your sound to someone who has never heard you before?
That's a great question, man. Wow, I guess it would. I try to explain it to like my dad's friends who have no idea like really what punk rock is or anything like
Right.
that. And I try to go for like references that are just like close enough for them to grab onto and sort of understand. So I'll be like, oh, it's like Green Day, but with Tom Waits singing, which is kind of like not really what we are at all, but I mean, like, it's like,
Right.
It gives them a, so I think, a fan came up to Tony when we were on tour in January and was like, dude, like, every one of your songs is about dying. And we're like, yeah, you're not wrong. And the new record is the same way. So, I guess that bummer punk thing is just like a catchy little term that Tony came up with that kind of just described us really well,
Yeah.
Like it really made us think of like those old flyers too, like from the scene back in the day. And you'd always have those bands coming in and they give you like that 2-word, description of what they are, like,
Right.
New Jersey dance or whatever. So the bummer punk thing I think just fit well, and seems like people kind of dig it. So I think we're gonna stick with that.
I do like how you took the question exactly how I wanted you to, like how not it because it's not how like to try to explain it to somebody who's never heard you, but trying to explain it to like a like a normie, right? Like someone not in the
100%.
scene.
Yes.
Like
Yeah.
like
I mean,
how would you tell your grandma what kind of music you make, you know?
dude, it's so true. And it's like, we all have day jobs. We're all like I work in the corporate world, and it's like, I'm surrounded by normies. So it's
Right.
like, how do you kind of bridge that gap and like sort of translate it? And I will tell you, as a man in his late 30s, it's pretty embarrassing sometimes to tell some of these normies that you work with that you're in a band. But it is what
I've
it
been
is,
there.
man. Yeah.
I've been there, man.
It is what it is. It's part of the game, I guess.
I'm gonna be like, oh, cool. So like you play like covers? You play covers? You play at
right.
you play at what bar would I see you at?
Yeah, I mean, that's even probably better than what I've gotten sometimes. You know what's funny, dude, is like I had an appointment with my therapist. Surprise, bummer punk. What do you expect? And she had asked about our tour. She knew we were going on a tour in January, and she didn't think twice about it. But she goes, "How was your little tour?" And just that phrasing, like how was your little tour? Like it's just that like normies taking it as like what we're doing is just goofing off, and it was just
that's
like,
cute.
oh,
That's cute.
You
had a nice little tour. That's cute.
I know. I was just like, oh my God, man. Can you re-up my antidepressants and just end this call right now?
So, but how did your little tour go?
Our little tour went fantastic. Yeah. It went
cute.
really well, man. Yeah. Dude, I'll tell you, it's like you struggle with that, like as, getting into real life and becoming an adult and like having a mortgage to pay and everything. It's like, right. Where does this fit into your life and your identity? And you don't want to take what other people think about you and take that into account, but you can't help it sometimes. So
yeah.
But that's why we do it, right? We go out there and play. And I guess to answer your question about the tour, it was great, man. It was our second I guess U.S. tour, which East Coast and some of the Midwest.
Sure.
Tony had listen to this. Tony had a brilliant idea of bringing us through Ohio in the middle of the winter. Oh. Great idea, right? Lots of fun. So we went down into Ohio and St. Louis, and there's this great punk fest that if you guys haven't heard of yet called Sanford Punk Fest, and it's right outside of Orlando. Okay. And it's still growing, but great bands. It's run by this guy named Jake, who's in this band Dial Drive down there. Okay. Awesome band. And we get treated really well down there, dude. People really enjoy Tired Radio. So every time we go down there, we just have a blast, and we, put a little DIY tour together around it. And, we got like 2.5 weeks out of it. And lucky enough, the last 2 times we've went on tour in the U.S., we came out either breaking even or, with a modest profit, which I feel like for an unknown band, especially when gas prices are what they are, is a great sign. So hoping that momentum kind of carries us forward.
Yeah. Hell yeah. So Tired Radio, y'all started releasing music around 2017. How would you say the band has changed over the past 6 years?
Oh, wow. So Tired Radio started as an outlet for Tony specifically, our songwriter, to basically put his songs out.
Right.
I've known this guy since we were 14, and he's always been a very musical person. Although he never picked up a guitar until he started Tired Radio, really, just so he could put his own music out. Mm-hmm. So the band Tired Radio as a an entity didn't really come together, I guess, until he recorded demos for the first album, which would be end of 2019, early 2020.
Sure.
So I'd say that the big changes came within the last 3 years, and that's building a band around the project, which really was just a vehicle for Tony. We were just supposed to be his solo project.
Mhm.
But I think that's probably the biggest change was it kind of came together as Tired Radio instead of just Anthony Trusolino's Tired Radio,
Yeah.
which it still is, of course, it's his baby, but there's a lot more there that wasn't. And I think that leads the songs to another level, I think personally. So I think the intricacies of our parts have changed. I think the way we've gelled as a band has changed. And I think the new stuff that we've written is a lot more mature than the first record, but still staying true to Tired Radio. So the progressions have been kind of natural.
Yeah.
And we're just kind of rolling with it, man. It seems like this is kind of the right way to do things, and it's growing organically from the inside out. So I'd say those are probably the biggest changes.
Nice. You've had the opportunity to share the stage with some of our scene icons, like the Get Up Kids. Who's a dream band or artist that you'd want to perform with?
Great question, man. Had we not played with the Get Up Kids, I would have said the Get Up Kids. That is the band for me that started it all. I'm a loner Dottie, a rebel. I was like, I want to play bass and I want to learn that bass line, right?
That song is like, first off, that's like my favorite song of theirs. And also like when like everybody talks about, name the song titles like Fall Out Boys, where they like just say random shit. It's like, but bands have been doing that well before Fall Out Boy. And I always use I'm a loner Dottie, a rebel. That is literally like case in point to me. Like Get Up Kids were doing that already.
You're absolutely right, dude. And that's always kind of I don't want to say like a thorn in my craw, but like that is the thing where you like see these kids come out and they do these things that maybe they feel like have never been done before, and you're like, no, like the Get Up Kids own that, because we're older, and that's what you do, right? It's just kind of human behavior,
right?
But yeah, man, I think the band that I always used as an example was Minus the Bear, because I think of those early Minus the Bear records, and they always had those kind of outlandish titles. But I'm a loner, a rebel, whatever. That's kind of that's a great point. That's a great point. I'm just rambling now, but I never thought of it like
that's
that.
Okay. Yeah.
But yeah, I guess to take it a step back to playing with the Get Up Kids, I mean, it was ridiculous, dude. I mean, like I said, they were the band for me. And the funny thing is, our lead guitar player, Chris, is a youngin'. He's like 24.
Mm-hmm.
So he was born a year after Something to Write Home About came out. So it was like introducing a little brother to this band,
right? And
getting him hyped up for it. So it was just an amazing experience, and they were such great guys. I mean, Ryan, the drummer, and Jim, the guitar player, the coolest guys ever. Those were like the party dudes in the band that would just hang out with everybody.
Sure.
But it was definitely like, it's really hard being in an unsigned band, especially in Brooklyn and New York. Because, I mean, when any band comes through, it's hard to draw because there's so much to do here. And I think we kind of needed a little bit of a shot in the arm to say, like, hey, you guys have something here. And you guys are worthy of a show like this. And I don't mean like in an entitlement sense. I mean like as who we are as people and like the dreams we've had since we were kids. So it's been amazing, man. And we've been able to play with Brendan Kelly of the Lawrence Arms, who was another band I was obsessed with and still am. And hopefully it's just the beginning. I don't really know what else to say other than it's been I will say that the Get Up Kids show, just for what it meant to me, was at this point, one of the great joys of my life. And it was very, for a guy that's been grinding it out for 15 years in local bands, it was very appreciated. Yeah.
And wasn't that for, correct me if I'm wrong, wasn't that the one that you were on a cruise?
Yeah. So Germany has this punk festival every year, and I guess you can think of it as like the European or the Germany equivalent of Fest.
Okay.
And they just have these 3 days of like great lineups, and it's called Booze Cruise because Hamburg is kind of like a harbor over there in Germany.
Okay.
And the opening day, they have bands play on this like boat that kind of just like goes around the harbor and stuff. So we got to play with Good Riddance and our buddies in Uber U, who are these awesome Swiss punks. If you guys haven't heard of them, check out Uber U. They're probably, I think they put on one of the best live shows I've ever seen. They're just so fun.
I'll check it out.
Yeah, so we got to play in a boat. What was cool about that was the electric was kind of weird, so my bass amp blew.
Oh.
So I don't know if you guys have seen any of the photos, but Tony's wearing like these weird rounded kind of glasses with like liquid in them on that boat. And it's because he gets horribly seasick. So he had looked for like all these weird devices before we left that might work, and he found these weird glasses. And sure enough, they work. But
nice.
Looks great. Looks great.
I haven't seen them, but I will go look for them now.
You gotta check them out now. Yeah, absolutely.
I will for sure. So I saw an interview with you where you talked about the importance of writing a quality bass line. You said it's a delicate balance between subtlety, playing to the song groove, drive, tone, locking in with your drummer and taking it for a walk, or introducing a counter melody. So with that in mind, who would you say are some of your biggest bassist influences?
Oh, that's a great question, man. I'm so glad you asked it because I love talking bass and nobody ever talks bass. I'd say in the beginning, I had played guitar like a lot of people transfer to bass, but believe it or not, I had always wanted to play bass. I was just a kid on welfare who couldn't afford it.
Sure.
So I had a friend's old guitar, and eventually I saved up for a bass. And I think when I was younger, what really grabbed me was Duff McKagan from Guns N' Roses.
Okay.
People would kind of hum the guitar parts and, the Sweet Child of Mine intro, right? But it was like, I would always kind of like memorize and get pumped to that bit, boom, 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 that like bass line that comes in and really starts the song. I think he was probably one of the first ones that really made me want to play. Other than that, I'd say Robert DeLeo of Stone Temple Pilots, I think, is probably the most underrated bassist in rock music. His style of playing, I really love. And then as I got older and started playing punk music, Matt Freeman, Evan D'Amico of Saves the Day, he was a big one for me, just because playing fingerstyle, I'm a fingerstyle player when I don't play with tire radio. And his fills really kind of influenced the way I play.
Okay.
Obviously, Robbie Pope, Get Up Kids. But I'd say my all-time favorite now, even as an adult, Jason Black, Hot Water Music.
Okay.
I think when I approach a bass line to a song, a lot of times I'll approach it first. How would Jason Black play this? Like, what is a line he would kind of get into? How would he play with the rhythms here and the melodies? And his fills are my favorite. I'm always kind of writing fills that are quite derivative of his, but they're fun to play, man. Yeah.
There's no Les Claypool in there.
Man, I appreciate it and I can enjoy it, but it's probably not something I'm going to turn on and try to learn.
He is that dude. That dude's something else, man. Those projects, like,
dude, unreal. Yeah.
Like, there's only a couple Primus songs I can like legit get down with.
Right. Yeah. And I think like one of them is the South Park theme. Because it's like, I love that.
The one that's always stuck with me was Winona's Big Brown Beaver.
Yeah, man. I mean, how can you get a title like that out of your head? After that,
If
you know?
if you've never, first off, if you've never heard it or seen the
No.
music video, go like ASAP. It is chef's kiss. Like
That's
it is.
awesome. I gotta wonder, like, was that video ever on Beavis and Butthead? Because I feel like Beavis and Butthead used to always play like Primus and stuff like that back in the day.
I don't know if it was on Beavis and Butthead, but I mean it was on MTV. That's where I saw it.
There you go. Very cool, man. I'm gonna have to check it out. That's what I'm gonna do as soon as we log off.
Yes, like
Gonna go search for Winona's Big Beaver and
Big
hope
brown
something weird
beaver.
doesn't come up.
I'll shoot it to you. I'll get it to you.
Awesome.
Or you can just Google that and see what comes up.
Yeah, no, I mean
exactly.
you at least would have to put Primus before you just search Winona's Big Brown Beaver.
Yeah, wound up and ended up on some list or something. Yeah.
Absolutely.
What's the music scene currently like in New York, and what are some of your favorite venues?
Oh, great question, man. So I'd say like back in the early 2000s, that was when like, so Tony and I grew up on Long Island, about 2 towns over from each other. We both moved to Brooklyn about 15 years ago, and the scene was at its best back then, right? Like we actually used to go see Brand New and Taking Back Sunday, like before they blew up, when the singer of Taking Back Sunday was the bass player. You can see them at a mini golf place for $10, yeah?
Mhm.
So the scene was amazing back then, man. And we got to watch like a lot of our friends kind of, get into bigger projects and do cooler things. And you kind of always had an opportunity to play with somebody really fun. The scene since then, I don't know. It's definitely changed a lot. There's always been like sketchy things back then, like pay to play, and
Yeah.
even now you kind of even fight for your drink tickets.
Yeah.
New York's a different animal, man. There's so much going on here that it's tough to draw, no matter who you are.
Mm-hmm.
The scene in New York for a while, in the city at least, was a lot of mixed genre shows. So you'd maybe be on a bill with a bunch of bands that really didn't sound like you, but the vibe was cool with other people.
Sure.
Yeah.
I'd say the punk scene in Brooklyn is kind of at a weird spot. There's definitely like a bunch of people that come out to the shows that are great. But I don't know, man. Sometimes we kind of feel like a band without a scene.
Sure.
We kind of feel like we don't have a home. We kind of gravitate towards Philly. Our drummer Kev is a Philly guy,
Okay.
and we just like Philly outside of New York.
They got a good scene there.
Took me a while, man. I hated Philly. I was a sports guy, so it took me a while. But
Sure.
everybody there was awesome. The scene is like great there. The people who have come out to see Tired Radio have been so cool. So I think we want to be adopted by Philly. So Philly, if you're listening, come adopt us.
Feel it. Just change your location on your, and then that's where you'll be.
Yeah.
That'll be your home base.
It's only 2 hours away from us, so it's not too bad.
Yeah, it's not that bad.
easy.
That'd be like me starting, like having a band and saying I'm from Minneapolis, but I'm from Duluth. But
How far away is that? Just out of curiosity.
about 2.5 hours.
Okay. I was in Rochester, Minnesota once. Is that anywhere near you are?
That's
Right.
South Cities.
Yeah, that's further south. That's about 4 hours from Duluth.
I was a hired gun for a while, and I played for this band that was on a national tour opening for Puddle of Mud. So I was in a butt rock band for a while.
Nice.
There we go.
And we came through Rochester, Minnesota, man, and people loved it over there. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, Rochester. I mean, they ain't a whole lot there. I mean, there's like the Mayo Clinic, but that's about it.
You got a disease you want looked at? Head on down to Rochester. Hang out, grab a burger, get a CAT scan.
Yeah, burger, CAT scan. You'll be good. See Puddle of
Good
Mud.
Sunday.
Yeah.
What else do you need, man? Yeah.
So you guys got any upcoming tours planned for the rest of the year, or?
We're kind of laying low a bit. Our drummer had a baby yesterday. Well, he didn't push it out. His wife did yesterday. And so we're kind of laying low a bit. Looking to get something together for the summer, but we are definitely doing something around October. Probably going to do some more Midwest dates. Chicago finally, which we're looking forward to. So
fun.
It'll be a while. Yeah. But we've got like a festival in Brooklyn that we're playing at the end of the month. So things are moving. Yeah.
Cool. Fun.
We got one more question before we go to a quick break. If you could give our listeners a piece of advice that you know now that you wish you knew when you were first starting your journey, what would it be?
Oh, be prepared to be surrounded. If you're in music, be prepared to be surrounded by mental illness. As a mentally ill bipolar person myself, adapting to other personalities is a big trait, and you're going to meet people that don't have your best interest in mind. Really don't take things personally. It can feel like your band's getting kind of kicked in the nuts sometimes, or people have things out for you, or a lot of ghosting. But just don't let outside factors get to you. I'd say that's the big thing. Be prepared to adapt to different personalities.
Nice.
Awesome.
It's great advice. Absolutely.
Thanks, man.
You gotta have thick skin.
Absolutely. There you go. You just boiled it down to a sentence. That's why you're a broadcaster and I play bass.
Barely. All right. And with that, he said, I'm a broadcaster, so I'm going to put my broadcaster voice on.
You got
and
the
with
job.
that, we'll be right back with our next segment after this commercial break.
Do you love music videos and miss when MTV, VH1, and Fuse all actually played music videos? Then join me, Giddy, as I host a super awesome music video show on Twitch every Thursday at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time on the Unsigned Pop Punk Twitch channel. We play the best videos from up-and-coming pop punk, emo, alternative music in the scene, so join us every Thursday and find your new favorite band.
What's up, friends? We're super stoked to tell you that we just partnered with GFUEL. And let me tell you, there is no more pop punk beverage on the market right now than GFUEL. GFUEL keeps you energized, focused, and hydrated. If you go to gfuel.com right now and use code UNSIGNEDPOPPUNK, you're gonna save 20% off your entire order. You can get it in the tub form and have 40 freaking servings of flavors like Rick and Morty's Unstable Portal Fluid, which is a delicious strawberry limeade, or get something in the can form like Sonic's Peach Rings or Crash Bandicoot's Wumpa Fruit. Go to gfuel.com and check it out for yourself. Let us know what your favorite flavor is. And once again, don't forget to use our code UNSIGNEDPOPPUNK to save 20%. It's a heck of a deal, man.
And we're back. Thanks for hanging, sticking around. If you left during the commercial break, rude, but you won't hear this because you already left. But you didn't leave. You're here. Now, it's time for our food for thought segment. So this segment's just all about food. Obviously. So now my first question for you, being from New York, the obvious food questions about pizza, but I'm going to take it in a different direction. New York style is a pizza icon. With that in mind, what do you think about Pizza Hut's Big New Yorker?
I haven't had it, but I will tell you this. If Pizza Hut okays it, Jay St. Angelo okays it. I love fast food. It's horrible. I've gained 25 pounds since the pandemic, but I am an emotional eater, and all those pizza places have been there for me many times before. So Pizza Hut, right? That's what it was, Pizza Hut?
Yeah, Pizza Hut.
That's okay with me. A-okay.
Okay, so So you you'll get Pizza Hut even living in New York?
Well, I assume you like steak, correct?
I like what?
Steak.
Steak. I'm sorry.
No, not really. Matt
Okay.
might.
I mean, I do, but
Matt does.
Matt's my guy. Matt, you like steak, but I assume you also like McDonald's from time to time.
that is a very accurate
You
statement.
can't get steak at McDonald's, Jason. Not the same thing. Not the same thing,
That's
buddy.
like, I'm on to you.
Listen, I'm just saying, like a raccoon, I also enjoy trash. So trash pizza is fine for me. But I also, I'm born and raised here, so I maybe I take the pizza for granted. But I will say I always have a slice, at least, once a week, for sure, of New York pizza, not Pizza Hut.
That's fair. That's fair.
And now I'm just thinking about McDonald's, though.
Yeah, now I just want McDonald's. Thanks, man.
Yeah, my latest.
Dude, we have everything here, and it's so hard to not just indulge constantly, especially with like Uber Eats, Grubhub, all those that are out there just to kind of ruin your goals and your life. But they give you that short-term dopamine rush, man, and I think that's what we're all going for. So.
Mhm.
Love it. Love it. Do you have any memorable food stories from the road?
Ooh, good question. Yeah. Well, you know what? I can't say it's that memorable, but we do try to like make it a point to go to like some pretty legit places wherever we go into. But I'd say this is really not a fun story. It's kind of boring, but I'd say one of our favorites was we went to this place. Damn it, I forgot the name again. We went to this place in Nashville.
Okay.
And it was like a real down home Southern comfort food spot.
Cooking.
And it's I mean, it felt like it, dude. This was like, it's like family style, right? So you sit at a table with a bunch of strangers and you pass food around. So here's a little thing about me. I like talking to people one-on-one, but I have social anxiety, so I don't like being in crowds. I usually, and I don't like really, not that I don't like meeting new people, I just get really anxious about it.
Sure.
So Tony goes, oh, hey, we're going to go to this spot. It's family style, and you sit down. And now I'm thinking, that sounds like my nightmare. I need to sit next to a stranger and eat a meal, and kind of make small talk. So we went and we did it, and I was kind of miserable, but the food was so good that now me and my fiance are talking about going to Nashville just to go to this place again.
Nice.
Nice.
I got to find out the name of this spot, man. I always forget it. But it was in like an old big house, and you walk in and it's like a big dining room with like 3 like long tables, and you just pop a seat and hang out. We were sitting next to like these like backwoods farmers, man, like these old man backwoods farmers. Like, when would we ever cross paths with these people? And they were just so cool, so nice. And it was a real enjoyable meal. I got forced out of my shell a bit, which was good, and I'd say that was probably our favorite spot out of the whole tour so far. I will say this, we got to go to Germany last summer, and we were all obsessed with doner kebabs. Every night we were just getting these doner kebabs. And again, Chris is the young guy in our band, the guitar player. He's like 12 years younger than us. So we get to like show him these new experiences. Come here, little boy. Check out the this meal that you've never had before.
Give me a little man.
On the shores. Come here, little man. Come try this meat that you've never had on the shores of Long Island. Come, and we introduce him to these new meals. So it'd be like, let me get that doner, throw on that halloumi cheese, let me get the cabbage, let me get all of it. And this kid's like, I don't know what any of this is. And it's like, shut up, eat it. And, we all loved it and we were obsessed. So I'd say doner kebabs are fully endorsed by Tired Radio.
Love it.
Nice. Since you were saying that you are a big, fan of food, of fast food as well. Now that'll tie into this question here. You have the opportunity to have the Tired Radio meal at any fast food place of your choice.
Oh.
Which fast food place and what goes into the tired radio meal?
Oh my God, this should be like an essay question. This should be an essay question with like a 25-minute time limit. Wow.
You got
That
two
is
trains,
really-
both.
You're right. Yeah, exactly. Wow, that is really tough, man. I think, you know what? I'm going to go with Taco Bell. I'm going to go with Taco Bell, and I feel like that's kind of like a cliche answer. Oh, band on the road, Taco Bell, whatever.
No, most people would pick like McDonald's. That's like that's a pretty
Shocking.
go-to, yeah.
I don't know. Do you remember back in the day, like in the early 2000s, where like Taco Bell would like endorse a band on the road?
Yeah.
Like an independent band, and they would like awesome. I wish they still did that.
Yeah, Chipotle
good.
did shit like that too. It was awesome.
Oh,
There was
amazing.
like when I was touring full time, there was Chipotle had a thing to where if you had if you got a Chipotle tattoo, that like you would get free Chipotle for life, and that was obviously not held up. But they did do it for a bit.
What a jerk move on Chipotle to be like, yo, get a tattoo. Don't worry, we got you.
I was like straight up ready to get a fucking burrito tattoo. Like 100% was no concern. I will get this burrito tattoo. I would probably get a burrito tattoo anyways. So
yeah, right on your face, like Gucci Man, like with the ice cream, but like a Mexi melt.
But I'll put it under the beard a little bit, so like I can hide it, have a spot.
And also when you shave, it looks like you're eating it because it's right there.
Oh yeah. There's options.
I was hoping, Pat, that you would say that story would end like, and that's how I got this dumb burrito.
And that's how I got this burrito. No tattoo.
Exactly.
No, I wish. Like I love burritos and tacos and shit so much that once I can afford to get a tattoo again, I'm I have it written down. I'm getting something like that on me at some point.
Absolutely. You got to. And it's got to have like a clever kind of wordplay in it or something, I had a friend who had a tattoo with a bear holding honey, and it said, "Mo honey, more problems." So I feel like you need to do something like that, but with a burrito.
Yeah, I could do that. I don't know what to
do. Yeah.
Oh no. I have a pizza tattoo I was going to get as well, but I was going to get aliens sucking up a piece of pizza.
Okay.
So that was going to be my pizza tattoo, because then it also got me my aliens tattoo. So.
Oh, like what is it, like a xenomorph?
No,
like the actual alien franchise?
No, just like an alien spaceship, just give me sucking up a piece of pizza. Just like
love it. Yeah.
A xenomorph eating a slice of pizza. Now that'd be pretty tight too. That'd be pretty tight.
Yeah. What do you think they would put on the pizza? Look at me with the questions now.
I like it. I mean, you're asking hard hitting questions though. Like that's a good question.
Yeah,
I mean,
just call me Mike Wallace.
I don't think a xenomorph is going to be super picky. I think that they eat humans. We know that. They eat predators. We know that. Like, I think they kind of just go for whatever. So like, I think they'll just eat it. But what
Good
if
answer.
xenomorphs are like lactose intolerant? That would be really a real big bummer.
Great question. That would be. Yeah, it would kind of, I think, kind of dull down the lore a little bit. I think Ridley Scott would have some explaining to do for sure.
Well, really, xenomorphs can eat people, can't eat cheese.
Can't eat cheese, exactly. Dairy is the perfect predator, except for dairy. Yeah.
That dairy is their kryptonite. You're just throwing milk at it.
Yeah, little known fact. What's her name? Ellen Ripley. I think she was actually a dairy farmer. So.
Oh, yeah.
There you go.
Well, there we go. I was gonna say it was just kind of like little known fact. It's just like in Ernest Scared Stupid. Do you remember that movie?
Oh, dude, I love Ernest. I love Jim Varney.
Yeah.
Man, what a nice surprise of a reference. Love Jim Varney. Yeah.
Oh yeah, Dude, great movie. It's fucking milk, and he can't figure that out. So finds Miak. Awesome.
Speaking of milk, I mean, way to milk that franchise too. What do you have, like 4 or 5 different movies?
Oh, he had way more than that. Like there's like
Jesus.
Slam Dunk Ernest. I don't know. There's a bunch, man. There's a bunch of Ernest movies.
Oh, now I know what I'm doing with my weekend.
Yeah.
Thanks, Pat.
I have a few
Very
of them.
nice.
I think I have 3 or 4 of the Ernest movies.
There you go. Just go over to Pat's
Classic.
this weekend.
Yeah.
Fly
Come
in.
on over.
Pat, what are you doing? You want to hang out? You want to
Yeah.
order some Pizza Hut and we'll chill and watch Ernest?
I do. Yeah, I do. Except we'll get Vita pizza here. I mean, that's some prime time to me.
All right, I'm all for it.
Cool. Well, you did it. You made it past the food for thought segment. Now
Woo!
we're going to move on to our last segment. This is rapid fire questions.
Friendships will be tested. Rapid fire questions.
Oh God. Okay, let's do
You're just gonna speak from the heart. You're gonna shoot from the hip.
it.
You got this. Don't worry. Friendships. You don't have a friendship to be tested right now. So when there's multiple band members on here, it's great when they like butt heads. Like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah, that is nice. I would love to do that from your standpoint. Stir the
Yeah.
pot a little bit. See what
Yeah,
happens.
it's fun. It's fun. You know.
The
All
puppet
right.
master. There's those broadcasting shops popping in again.
There he is
Yeah.
again.
Yeah. So are you ready?
Let's do it.
All right. Mountain Dew or Mellow Yellow?
Mellow yellow.
Hot take. All right. Nice. Is this like
Can
from
I
your
explain, or is
childhood?
it-
You can explain, sure.
Okay, I didn't know if this is like a Family Feud situation where you just kind of pepper me with them. Like
I
Louis
usually
Anderson.
just pepper it, but if you got a story behind your Mellow Yellow hot take, let's hear it.
If you're gonna give it an answer,
Not a
it's
fun
Mountain
story. The only thing is I had a friend who drank it all the time, and I knew a guy from West Virginia who I couldn't stand who only drank Mountain Dew. So I got to go with Mellow Yellow.
There you go. It's all about keeping the friendships, the bond of friendship.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Got it. Horror or comedy movies?
Oh, comedy all the way. I'm not into horror unless it's like something different. Like I don't know how you guys felt about Skinamarink, but I was kind of obsessed with it for a while.
Never heard of it.
Really? It's from like this Canadian horror director, and I think it was like on a budget of like 15,000. And it's sort of like a found footage sort of thing.
Well, I love found
but
footage.
It's real quirky. Not quirky. I don't know why I said that. It's real kind of weird, creepy. It's super polarizing. Like either you really enjoy it or you fucking hate it. And it seems to have kind of really pushed people one way or the other. I like it. Check it out. It's a real slow burn. Other than that, though, I like, everybody likes the A24 movies that come out. Those like horror movies are cool. Other than that, horror movies don't really interest me.
Okay. This isn't an either or question. It's just kind of I guess I'm just trying to see how much of the world still does this, but do you still actually listen to the radio?
No. So this is I know we were talking off air before. I will listen to old radio shows on YouTube.
Yeah.
So I like a lot of like old talk radio, like we were talking before, a lot of like old nostalgic Howard Stern and Alan Bell and like all that old New York stuff. But no, I don't listen to the radio anymore. No, I have weird listening habits to begin with, honestly. I don't listen to music as much as I used to. I think that just comes more being like a jaded old man.
It comes with age.
And yeah. And I'm just kind of more, I just lean toward like comedy podcasts mostly. So yeah, my relationship with music has definitely changed. And I think radio right now, especially terrestrial radio, is like in this weird spot where it's also sort of getting that that kind of nostalgic vibe where people are kind of more into it, just because of, it's something, representing days gone by, right?
Yeah.
So And it's an art form. Like broadcasting is an art form, and I think that a lot of broadcasters today don't have the same skills. So, but then again, radio now has kind of turned into that like mornings, hey, free 95, like, so it's
KQ 395.
exactly. What's the phrase that pays? So it really kind of killed itself, I think. But I think the allure there is, it's hitting that sort of weird nostalgic vibe that like cassettes hit. And I think other people too, I know other people are digging into old radio shows too, because YouTube comments, right? So you see people are still swarming, and these comments are recent. So there's definitely affinity there. But short answer, no, I don't listen to the radio anymore.
Short answers out the window, man.
Exactly.
That went up.
Yeah.
All right. Cartoon Network or Nickelodeon?
Oh man. All right, you know what? I'm gonna have to say Nickelodeon.
Nice.
Cartoon Network. I don't know if you probably remember that at night they would put on those weird, creepy cartoons from like the 30s and the 40s. There were these like probably public domain cartoons that they didn't have to spend any money for, that they just threw on, late at night.
Yeah, like when it was first starting, right?
Yeah, and it creeped the hell out of me, and I still, which actually kind of ties into the Skinamarink movie, oddly enough. But I'll go with Nickelodeon just for that, and also because even though I'm 37 years old, I could still recite the Stick Stickly song by memory. So
I don't.
That's it.
Let me hear it. I want to hear it.
No, I was just gonna. God damn. It was. Oh, can you still hear me? I think I might have.
Yeah, I can hear you.
I can still hear.
Okay. Okay. It was right to me, Stick Stickly, P.O. Box 963, New York City, New York State, 10108.
Nice.
There it is.
I do remember that now, dude. Snick at Night was the shit, man.
It was, dude, and it was like that time when like Shaq was just everywhere and he was awesome,
Yes. Oh man, there's like, dude, Nickelodeon. Like, don't get me wrong, I love Cartoon Network, but
yes,
Nickelodeon, man, that's my jam. But
Classic.
I do agree though. Like personally, I loved the early Cartoon Network days when it was basically just those super old cartoons, and then like the Looney Tunes all the time, because that's what they had.
Yeah, they had all the like old Hanna-Barbera. I used to love like Secret Squirrel, Morocco Mole, all those. Yeah, man.
Space Ghost. And then they came up, and then Space Ghost Coast to Coast.
Coast to Coast.
Oh,
yeah, that was incredible. And like, what was it? Brack? Was that the guy's?
Yeah, Brack.
The guy with the mask. Yeah.
Yeah, and then he got his own show.
Yeah, that's right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think
Johnny Bravo, right? That was another big one.
Yep, Johnny Bravo. I own all of the Space Ghost series on DVD. Not Coast to Coast. Just the original cartoons.
How many seasons did that go for?
A couple. It's like cartoons back then, like when we were younger, you'd be fucking surprised. It was just basically constant reruns. Like like all those, like it was like Space Ghost, the Herculoids. Oh, good ones.
Oh man. Yeah, I hated the Snorks. You remember the Snorks?
Yes, I didn't like the Snorks.
Did not like the Snorks. Yeah.
They were weird.
Yeah. They were very weird. Wasn't into them. But early Cartoon Network, man, that was it. Yeah, these kids don't know, man. Powerpuff Girls, that was the beginning.
Yeah. Dexter's Laboratory.
Dexter. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's a great question though, man. Hard to kind of you got to kind of sit on the fence for that one. Hard to pick a side.
Because they're both great, but you just got to pick a side.
Great.
Got to pick one or the other. All right. Thin crust or regular crust pizza?
Regular crust. Next question.
All right. This is another hard-hitting question, and you are of the right age for this question. Lindsay Lohan or Tara Reid?
Oh God! Oh my God! I only say that just because I feel like it would be so obnoxious to be in a room with both of them at the same time. I'm gonna go with Tara Reid just because I think now. Do you remember Taradise? That show Taradise on E?
No.
With Tara Reid so there was this show Taradise in the early 2000s with Tara Reid, and she would just get blasted and then just like go out and like show you the nightlife of like this exotic place that you would never be in because it's super expensive.
Yeah.
But she'd just be like slurring her words and like falling all over herself and being like, I'm in the beautiful Bellagio, you know?
That's what, but that's kind of like what Lindsay Lohan did. She had her own like resort or something like that. She had a show about it.
That was more recent. I think that was like on MTV or something. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah. I feel like the Taradise was a bit more turned up because it was like right after like 90s shock value, right? So it was like they didn't care about just like showing an absolute train wreck of a TV show on television. So I think that's where my vote will go. Tara Reid.
Tara Reid in the Sharknado.
Although Lindsay Lohan is a Long Island girl, and that is where we were born. So, but you know what? I'm gonna have to veto that and stick with my Tara Reid pick.
There you go. I had to look this up. So Taradise from 2005 made it one season. I will fuck with this so hard. I'm gonna see if it's streaming.
This is right up Pat's alley.
Look, I have
Tara
gotten
Reid
real
HD.
hard into like super cringy like
Oh,
dating
dude.
shows.
The best. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have one for you. Matt showed it to me. I'll tell everybody if I can. All right. It blew my mind. I was hooked. There's a show. You can see it. It's on Discovery Plus. It's called MILF Manor.
Yes, we're starting that. Me and my fiance
Yes.
are starting MILF Manor. Yeah.
Start it
We were
and
just talking
finish
about
it.
it this morning, dude. Yeah.
Dude, it is incredible. Fucking incredible.
All right, I'm starting tonight, man. That was the ringing endorsement I needed to kind of push me towards it. Yeah, we just finished watching Love Is Blind, which is another horrible, cringy.
That's the
Yeah,
other
man,
one I do is Love Is Blind. So
something about them. It's like you can't turn away from them. Like
Friday, man. Friday, the next part comes out.
I couldn't get down with Sexy Beast. Did you try Sexy Beast?
No, I haven't done that.
Dude, it is on Netflix, and basically they put everybody in these like prosthetic masks or whatever. I mean, makeup that would take probably at least 3 hours. So they're just like these weird animatronic animals. So it's like this weird steer going on a date with like a cat, and the whole thing is like, oh, you don't know what they look like, so you know, you only have to judge them on their personality. But it's weird, man.
I might have to check that out. That might be what my night turns into.
I used to work with a girl who I saw on one of those shows, one of those Netflix dating shows, and it was so random. It was this girl that just one day she walked into work with a British accent that she never had, and then everyone was kind of like, "Oh, where'd you get that accent from?" And she was like, "What accent?" And now she's on Netflix dating shows. Dude, I swear to God, it sounds absolutely insane, but yeah, true story.
Nice. Do you know the premise of MILF Manor?
Vaguely.
Okay.
Is it a kid? Is it the kid's friends?
No. Okay. Yes. So here you fucking go. This is gonna set you up. You're gonna watch 5 of them tonight. Okay.
Please blow my head, please.
Okay. So MILF Manor. It's just these like the MILFs. Let's use this term loosely. Okay.
I've heard of those. Yeah.
Yeah. So they're these
These
MILFs,
are not the local ones.
They're all
in your area.
Yeah. They're all coming to like meet these young boys. And then, because they want to have a young relationship. And so they're standing in line, they're getting ready to see the boys, right? And the gate opens.
Oh my God.
It's all of their sons. They have to
man.
date each other's sons.
Wow. That's amazing. That is really great, man.
Yes.
That is really great.
Yes. The other caveat for the fucking show, the son and mom also have to be roommates.
Oh my God. It's like, how
Yeah.
awkward can they make this show? I love it. Wow.
It is fucking incredible. Like, it is the
Oh my God.
cringiest shit you will see.
Wow.
I couldn't believe how much I loved it. It was so awful. I loved it.
Wait, now who's the host? Because there needs to be a relevant host.
There isn't a host.
Is there no host? There's no like Nick Lachey or
No,
washed
there's
up,
no host. Everything that they get, like all of their shit, like you got to do this challenge in order to like go on this date and pick your date. In order for that, they all just get fucking texts, and they go, "I got a text."
That's incredible, man. That sounds like one of those like MTV shows. Wasn't there like Date My Mom or like Room Raiders? All those like just over the top like ridiculous MTV shows.
Yeah,
This is great, man. I'm gonna check this out for sure. I'm very excited now.
You'll have to let me know, because I am. It. Oh my gosh, me and my wife went through it in like 2 days. Like, we just.
Is there anybody specifically that you're rooting for?
You, by the end of it, you kind of do. You kind of are like.
There's always one person, as ridiculous as it is, there's always somebody that you relate to somewhere you want them to win. Is there one in this show?
I think
for
so.
you, at least?
I thought so. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't remember his name, but.
Right. The one with
But
the MILF, that guy.
the guys are the ones that, it's really funny because normally the guys are the fucking worst, right? They're the cringiest, just
Of course.
but not on this. I thought they were like mostly actually pretty gentleman-like, and like had each other's fucking backs and shit. It was real weird.
Oh, I hate it. I hate that.
It's so good. It's great. It's important.
I want like 20 to 21-year-old fuckboys that think they're like hot shit and that are ready to fight with one another over these guys' moms. That's what I want.
Oh, they are hot bodies, but they're not really willing to fight each other over it. The only time that they're willing to fight is that they're like, "You better be nice to my mom."
Oh my God, that's so
my mommy.
Wrong.
Okay,
that is so wrong.
Right.
Oh,
right.
You better kiss my mom how she deserves it.
Yeah, you better kiss her just good like that. Let me see how you do it. Make sure you do it right.
You're not going to be my new dad with that kind of attitude.
Oh, they do
Act like
say
you want
shit.
it.
They do say shit like that, and that's really fun. Be like, "I'm gonna be your new daddy," and you're like, "Oh, I hate you so fucking much." Okay, gotta move on. We got two rapid fire questions left.
Can we do a whole nother show about MILF Manor?
Yeah, sure. We should just have our own MILF Manor podcast.
Yeah, we'll just do reactions.
Yeah. Okay, I'm in. Okay, Newfound Glory or MXPX?
I'm gonna have to go with MXPX, man. That was my first punk show, my first like real national band that came through.
Nice.
Love those guys, man. I remember getting the Ever Passing Moment in the year 2000, and that was like one of my gateway drugs to punk rock.
Good.
But I love Newfound Glory, man. I love those like first 2 or 3 albums. First 2 in particular are just like still to this day, like I just love those records. It's tough for me listening to old stuff. A lot of people have like I just I have different chapters of my life that are tied to like certain songs, and I'm not able to listen to bands that I used to like Alkaline Trio, great band, but like I can't put them on anymore because it reminds me of like a certain time.
Sure.
Okay. Those Newfound Glory records, though, have passed that test. I'm happy to say. So they're definitely a band I still fuck with for sure. They came through New York like 2 years ago, and they played their self-titled album in its entirety, which was really cool. Yeah,
I've seen them, I think, every time they've came to Minnesota the last like 3 shows. So like
that's awesome.
They're my favorite. I fucking love Newfound Glory.
They're so
I don't
great.
go to
I saw them.
Matt can attest. I don't actually go to that many concerts, but Newfound Glory, man.
They still bring it, man. They still bring it. I had seen them in 2005. I used to love Reggie and the Full Effect.
Oh yeah.
And they were opening for Newfound Glory, and they played at Webster Hall in Manhattan, and the floor actually broke because everybody was going crazy during the Newfound Glory set, and it like kind of collapsed in, and they had to shut down the whole show.
That's wild. All right, we got one last, and this once again is not another either or question, but I'm gonna test your jingles knowledge.
Ooh, all right, I'm ready, dude. I'm ready for this.
All right, can you sing to us the O'Reilly Auto Parts jingle?
God,
That's the first word.
Yes,
God?
is the first word.
No, but we don't really have those around here. Like, does that count? We're
it has
we're
to
in
count.
wait. I could give you AutoZone. Get in the zone, the AutoZone. The AutoZone is real big over here. I don't know if it's a Minnesota thing, but I can't.
Well,
I'm
the
sorry.
O'Reilly Auto Parts jingle is mostly like it's just a well-known jingle. It's like everywhere in America. It's
What is it?
O'Reilly Auto Parts. Wow.
Wow, I'm pretty ashamed that I don't know that.
See if he can redeem himself, Pat.
Well, he did the AutoZone thing.
But the first season.
Oh, well, okay. So I'll add this in if you're able to get this one. Do you remember? So the last season, our jingle question was the Bagel Bites jingle. Do you remember the jingle for Bagel Bites?
Pizza in the morning, pizza in the evening, pizza at supper time. When pizza's on a bagel, you can have pizza anytime. Come on, guys.
Damn right.
That's right.
Damn right. Good job. Because first off, that's way harder than O'Reilly Auto Parts. I would say out of like the whatever 50 guests we had, like 10 of them got it.
Really? Oh man, look at me. Can I give you a jingle? Can I give you a jingle that's my favorite?
Yeah.
So I don't think it probably wouldn't have been where you were at because it was like a retreat in the Northeast. It was called the Mount Airy Lodge. Have you ever heard of that?
No.
Oh.
The best jingle of all time. It was like in the 80s, early 90s, and it's a classic up here.
Okay.
But when we finish this up, I want you to Google Mount Airy Lodge jingle.
Okay.
It's the best. All you have to bring is your love of everything. Beautiful Mount Airy Lodge. That's all I have to say.
Okay. Matt's already looking it up, so he's getting ready. And then
I never thought I'd get a chance to mention the Mount Airy Lodge theme song on a podcast, but
it's Tired Radio approved.
To be fair,
we're gonna cover it, yeah.
I mean, to be fair, our podcast is a little different than most normal music podcasts, so
I love it.
You know, we try to, you know, gotta get a reason to bring people in, you know, make it a little different.
Course.
Make it a little different. But that is it. You did it. You finished the podcast. Now's a chance. Let everybody know what you got going on, where they can find you, and what is next.
Yes, Tired Radio from Brooklyn, New York. We are melodic bummer punk. Come see us this fall. We'll be around the Midwest, East Coast. Check out our latest album right here. I'll do a little shameless self-promotion.
There you go.
It's our new EP, Lousy Thanks, out on Sinking Ship Records, Gunner Records out in Europe. And check out our first album, Patterns, all on Spotify, every streaming service, and YouTube.
Nice.
Good enough?
Perfect. Yeah.
All right.
Or do you got any did you say like your like social
Socials.
handles?
Yes. Let's Tired Radio Music, Facebook. We do Instagram mostly at tired_radio. We also have a TikTok that we don't really use because you can tell we're old when we post. You just got that vibe. So Instagram at tired_radio.
Nice. Perfect. Well, everybody, make sure you go check out Tired Radio. Thanks so much, Jason, for hanging out with us today. Before we leave, as you all know, we're gonna hop into the Unsigned Pop Punk news in just a second here. Welcome to the Unsigned Pop Punk news. We're here. Yeah. That was a fun episode. Loved it. Still, you know, we want to hear from you. We want you to tell us your favorite parts. We want you to chat with us. What are your thoughts? You got stories. Want to hear about the stories. Come on. Want to hear from you. Join our Discord. Join us on Discord. It's a good old time. Discord.gg/KYRQC3TR lower score. Or under, not lower score. Lower
4 and
AF.
7 years ago.
Lower score and 7 years ago. Yes.
Let's be real. Just click the damn link in the description.
Just click the link in the description. Stop being so difficult.
Stop replaying this end of this episode to write it down and just scroll down.
Click the link.
Click the link. I promise.
Let's go.
And if it's not working, DM us on Instagram.
Yeah.
You're not gonna listen to it and type it in. Just click the link. Who are you kidding?
Click the link.
But who are we kidding? We are not kidding around because, as we've told you for the last few weeks, we have partnered up with the Trevor Project, and 15% of every purchase of our gender equality shirts will be donated to them. Trevor's Project's mission is to end suicide among the LGBTQ youth, help us in supporting the amazing cause, and support saving young LGBTQ lives.
Hell yeah.
You got some noises going behind you?
What?
You got some noises going behind you?
No, I was looking and I was like, is there a hat hanging on that like my Pee Wee Herman bike? And yeah,
There is. I
I
mean,
don't know where it came from.
you're gonna have to look back in episodes like I did because there was a giant penis on my whiteboard for weeks.
I don't even know what hat that is.
I don't know.
I'm gonna look after this, I guess. Okay. Still waiting, still trying to confirm Fess. So there's nothing new there. Nothing new at all. But in Twitch news, we got New Music Friday on Tuesday, every Tuesday at 3 p.m. Central Standard Time, and the super awesome music video show live every Thursday, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time on our Twitch channel, which is twitch.tv/unsigned pop punk. And once again, you can also just click that in the description. Coolest things about these shows is they're live. You can chat with us.
They're live.
And they're cool. Like super awesome music video show. If you miss MTV and VH1, bam, we got you.
Got you.
That's what we do. It's a 1 hour live music video show with some of the best up and coming bands in the scene today, every Thursday at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. And Gibby was also just talking to us about what if we made super a TRL version of Super Awesome, where we do a super, so basically SAL Super Awesome Live.
There we go.
And we do top 10 countdown. What do you think? What do you think about that, peeps?
What do you think?
You let us know
Tell
by
us.
joining freaking Discord and telling us what you think.
Do it. Join the damn Discord.
Join the Discord. Be our friends. Let's go. And that is the way the news goes. Thank you again to Jason from Tired Radio for hanging out with us today. Thank you, Matt, for hanging out with me all the time. I value your friendship. Thank you so much for Gibby for all the Gibby things that Super Gibby does. Thank you to Lawrence for making cool art like that Drawn to Death Club shirt. It's tight. Does art. Lawrence Crow, art master. He's awesome.
Beautiful man.
Thanks to all of you for listening to this. So that's it, Matt. You got anything else you want to get off your chest? Speak with your chest.
I'm about to have some chips and salsa. I've decided.
Nice. And with that, we will see y'all next week. Goodbye.
Thank you so much for checking out the show. Please hit that like, subscribe, or follow button so you never miss an episode. And thank you so much to those of you who already are. Check us out on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, or anywhere else you stream your podcasts. If you're in the position to help us grow and like behind the scenes access and exclusive shows, head on over to our Patreon at www.patreon.com/unsignedpoppunk. Let us know in the comments who you'd like to see on the show and what other content you'd like to see. Thank you all so much.